Okay, good morning. Let's celebrate a couple things here this morning. Good weather in Buffalo. Great to see. And also Josh Allen's birthday, right? So want to celebrate that. And also great to see the turnout that Micah's first and foremost, great to see Micah, but also great to see the fans support that event that Micah held the other day, and just really that connection of our team and our fans. And then I think it was a great day just to watch our players and the fans, to see our players with their helmets off and kind of just being themselves out there and having some fun. So great to see and a great day for it. So with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Is that a good thing, Josh, for 28?
You may want to ask his parents that.
No, he's not getting any younger. I mean, just the fact that it's a reminder that, he's been here for a while, and as much as he's accomplished, there's still some things that are missing. What have you seen about him those years and how he's grown?
Yeah, I mean, tremendously impressed, proud. First and foremost, you care for the person, right? And the relationship that we've formed, and watching a player who, not being from here, comes here and really makes his mark on the community, right? Let's just start there. And the type of person he is, the type of character he possesses. The things that he is, like most franchise quarterbacks, probably asked to do, even beyond the field, and how he handles all of those things. I think really, to me, that's what I'm most proud of. And that's been a true joy for me as a coach, to watch him grow and understand the responsibility that comes with being that face of the franchise. And everyone sees what happens, on Sundays here, and how remarkable he is, and how he continues to still grow in that area as well. And I think that's also been neat to watch this spring, and watch his leadership continue to grow and evolve and develop, and him being intentional about that, and yet turning 28, as you said, and it goes by fast, right, like it does for all of us. So I'm just trying to enjoy the moments and watching him continue to grow and lead our football team.
You spoke about Micah's softball game. Through your conversations with someone who's gotten to know him over the past 7 years, has he given you any inkling whether or not he wants to continue playing here with the Bills?
Well, I think he said it publicly the other day, that he was either going to the Bills or he was going to retire. So, and we have our private conversations as well. And Mike is always going to hold a special place in my heart. Again, I remember going on 8 years ago now, standing in front of you guys and introducing Mike as one of our first free agents that we signed here. So, again, the mark that he's made on this community and this team, this organization, will last a long time. And he and I were discussing the other day and the value of the softball game and home run derby. And it's real easy when you're done playing, right, to just, hey, done playing, I use that term loosely here with his situation, flexibly, to just not do that anymore, right? But I think it, again, shows the type of person, the type of character, the type of family that the Hydes are to continue to want to do that here in Buffalo. That just says a lot about who they are. So. Mike is always going to be on our radar, and we'll see where it goes. So I think there's, ultimately it'll be up to Micah and Brandon in terms of the decision and how that all comes to be. And but yes, overall, and Micah's built that way, right, Steve? As you know, he's always going to be in shape. He's out there, being a husband, being a dad, and yet also I know he's making sure he's in good shape and ready to go. Yeah, just it's hard to see the older, the guys who have since, moved on, that's hard to see, right? But it's a necessary part of our business. But the new faces, getting those players up to speed, there's kind of a new excitement around, new energy, having to tell players how to get to the cafeteria, how to get to, and where the team meeting room is. Some of it's first day of school type stuff, right? So, I've been very impressed with, number one, the attendance that we've had. We've had great attendance throughout the whole off season. A couple guys missing here and there, and I think Daquan's out today again, and Rasul. That's what I have, to my knowledge, at this point today. But the attendance has been great. The focus, day in and day out, has been tremendous. Going out there to practice for the second day now today, and watching those guys practice yesterday, how focused they were, intentional about improving. And again, just for us as coaches, the coaching staff, educating our players on our core beliefs philosophically, the fundamentals that have to go with things, the detail that we need that leads to the execution we're going to need on Sundays. Just getting these players as up to speed as quickly as we can. Not here today. Yeah. You will not see BT out there today. He's and then you won't see Milano out there today. Tommy Doyle, Spencer Brown. Spencer will be out there in some capacity, but not in the team drills.
What happened with Spencer? Michael mentioned it a couple weeks ago. He was banged up.
Shoulder. Yeah, off-season surgery there, the shoulder.
What is your thought process on what you can add to the whole how far away like you to be out there?
Yeah, so the word I've gotten from our training staff is that he's on schedule. Matt's here every day. I can tell you that he's working hard. It's probably going to be more closer to training camp until we see him out there, and maybe some drill work before that, maybe not. It'll just be how he continues to progress at this point.
A little bit about just the experience that you're going to have at the receiver position and what kind of different dynamic that creates.
Yeah, a number of new faces. I think it was eight new faces or more. So it creates a different dynamic. To your point, it creates energy. It creates a little bit of a wait and see approach in terms of the competition, the evaluation, who fits into what roles, how we build our offense around who we have. So I really like the way that those guys are working. Coach Henry's doing a phenomenal job with them, and to their credit, they've all embraced, hey, you're going to be moving around, you're going to be trying different positions, we're going to be trying you out, and the mental piece that goes with that is not easy, and they've all embraced that, and my hat goes off to them for it.
So is there more of a kind of evaluation for you overall at that position than there's been the last few years?
I mean, we always evaluate, but because of the newness, definitely an overall evaluation and just seeing who does what and what their strengths are, and I think that's an important piece of identifying their strengths as well this time of year. Yeah, so probably a little bit different than the public's appreciation, I'll say, at this point for Keon and his gift for words, right? I have found certainly that, but that playful, fun person, but also a rather focused young man that's here to play football and help this team any way that he can. So I've appreciated that, and certainly appreciate too his wit and his sense of humor and whatnot. But I think more than anything, just him wanting to just, hey, how can I help the team, and going out there to compete every day.
To that point, last week he said, a jacket ain't going to get that done. I still have to make plays on the field. How important is that for a youngster coming in with this big personality to be rooted in?
Yeah. No, it's huge, right? Because a little bit of playfulness is good, and there's a certain time and place for it. But Keon, from a young person standpoint in this league, understanding the importance of earning the respect of your teammates first and foremost, and the work that's got to be put in between now and earning your right, earning your spot. I think more than anything, it's just call it a newness. Even though he's played there to some extent before, it's just more a newness to the position. Some mental, but Connor is just wired in such a way that he was probably already going through that in his mind a year ago, because last year, he was in a role where he could have been moved over, in the course of a game to back up Mitch, what have you. So he's just so mentally consistent in his day-to-day approach, and I think that's really going to help us.
Sean, do you have discussions with the second-year guys who had some success last year, but to make sure that they're doing even more going into year two?
Discussions, yes. To do even more, I think you got to be careful there, right? Expectations changing means that this player has to do now this as opposed to doing this. Those guys are driven already that way. That's the thing with high achievers. They're always going to be, hey, how can I take another step? To your point, Josh. However, I think it's just important that they continue to grow, and whether it's on the field, whether it's some leadership capacity in terms of their growth and how they're, adding value to the team, I think that's all in due time, right? So I just think that, again, just they know what they want to get done, and helping them along the way without them going out there and feeling like they have to grip the bat tighter or other analogies that are used. Just continue to grow, continue to improve, and you'll help us win games.
Where are you on your timeline for your process of determining who's going to call defensive plays?
Yeah, not there. Sal, again, it's probably a more fair question at this point when we're in the middle of the training camp, probably. So I won't make a decision before then. If I do, I'll let you know. But I think you guys can put that question in your back pocket for until middle of training camp, I would say.
I was looking at TA's coach through you. You're kind of like, I guess, what it looks like on the field. Does Bobby get a little bit of kind of time to do that a little bit? Can you do that and kind of work through it? How does it look?
Well, yes, but prematurely a little bit. We've only been out there for one practice, so a lot of our practice early on is always scripted. So there's very little, if any, play calling going on. It's more scripted out practices, scripted out situations.
How much do you factor the 3 preseason games into whatever decision you come to, or what you're comfortable with about keeping it or giving it to Bobby? Is there a plan of you're going to call the plays here in the preseason?
Well, I think, Tim, to your question, there's going to be intentionality on my part to make sure that whether it's practice or preseason games that Bobby's given that opportunity. So it's just a matter of when and for how long, right, that we do that. So being a former play caller myself, former being 6 years before I got here, and then last year again, you're always having to knock off some of the rust. You're always having to get yourself polished and ready to go, because you've got to be able to process quickly, right? So down a distance, situation, time on the clock, timeouts, what you've already set up. There's a lot that happens fast, and so getting yourself to the right call quickly is important, and you got to kind of knock some of the rust off.
Would you say that week one of OTAs, in terms of just introducing your systems on the field, is pretty similar to last year in terms of start from square one, or because of all the new players, it might be different?
You try not to make it different, Mark, which means regardless of how new you are, you want to start from step 0 and then get into step 1. That said, yeah, there's quite a number of new faces, as has been mentioned a number of times, and so it's not assuming anything at this point, right? Not assuming that a player coming to us, even from another team, knows, what we value, right, and how we expect to play technique-wise, fundamentally, so on and so forth.
Sean, you guys have brought in a lot of preseason wide receivers. Chase Claypool, one of them. Had a bunch of ups and downs. What went into the conversations in bringing him in, and what has been your impression of the team?
Yeah, very impressed with Chase. Really just starting with his approach. Here's a veteran receiver, former high pick, that has been on a journey right through the course of recently his career, and I applaud Chase for coming here to see where things go, right? And so he's very focused. He's working extremely hard day in and day out, and embracing not just the wide receiver role that he could play for us, but also the special teams role that he could play for us. So you don't find that a lot around the NFL, where a player has been at a certain level and then is on a mission right now to reclaim what he once was in that regard. And those are my words, maybe not fair to Chase, respectfully, but I would just say, very impressed with his day-to-day approach. True pro, high character, smart player, and been a good addition to our team.
Sean, along the same lines, what did you like about this as well?
Yeah, so, similar conversation, I would say. So, veteran player. I think he's won 2 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken, and played with, good offenses, good quarterbacks, and you learn from those situations, right, when you go through those. And I've enjoyed our short, albeit time together, just learning some of the things that he's picked up along the way. And, again, just a guy that seems like, again, short exposure, but he's focused on helping a team and adding the value that he can add to our football team.
Sean, can you talk about the report that the team had John Perry on staff?
Sorry?
John Perry, the referee commentator, there was a report that the team was going to have.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. Yeah, so fortunate that we can add John to our staff. I think it basically just is, to me, easiest put, that you're always looking to improve, right? We had a similar role on staff last season, and now we had a chance to add John, who's basically been in the seat in some capacity in the role that he possessed with the broadcast over the last couple of years, at least, that I'm aware of, on Monday nights there, with going under the hood, albeit on television, to review plays and everything, and more, I think that's getting more attention, and it'll play a more, as we go, pivotal role in games, and you guys see it every week, right? So it's just trying to, by the nth degree, continue to find ways to make us better, and whether it's reviewing plays, being experts in the rules, managing games, all those things. So even Monday through Saturday, some of those areas, I just think you can never get enough of it.
Will the responsibilities go beyond game day on Sunday, then?
Yes. Yep.
Sean, how beneficial is it, especially this time of year, to bring in guys even when they're new, like Mike Edwards, who is familiar with the same type of system he's had in Kansas City, even Dee, late in the process here, he didn't play the top, go out there now, and it's a little bit, maybe similar in a lot of ways. How beneficial is that this time of year?
With Mike, you were saying?
Mike Edwards and Dee Delaney as well, who had a little bit of kind of familiarity with the same type of system.
Yeah, I mean, talking, again, a couple of veteran players that have seen Mike in this case. I'll speak more on Mike's situation, just been around him a little bit longer. He's seen some success as well in his career, and you take some things out of those experiences. And I should add, Mike's dealing with a little bit of a shoulder right now for the next 3-4 weeks. But beyond that, he's been a good addition to our team, and really liked the way he played this past season, in particular with Kansas City, and the seasons before that with Tampa.
Sean, how do you feel about where Vaughn is physically, and his ability to maybe get back to closer to where he was before the injury?
Yeah, again, I think we take it on a one-day-at-a-time basis. Vaughn spent some time away and came back this weekend, and so yesterday got a chance to see him out there, which was good to see, working with his teammates, and Von's attitude is always a good one. So it's good to have him around. Yeah, a veteran player again that has experience, and he's a fun guy to be around. He likes to joke around, and yet he knows, based on the position he plays, it gets serious awfully fast, right, when you're inside, in particular on those line of scrimmage roles. So I've enjoyed getting to know him and some of his sense of humor as well.
Sean, you touched on it a little bit earlier.
This is the last one, and I got to go there. So.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, the turnover that happens every offseason.
Yep.
How much different was it this time around because of the guys who have been here so long, Micah, just guys who have been here, Mitch Mills, guys who have been here a long time?
Yeah, those are guys that I'll take with me for years, the rest of my life, right? Our relationships, the memories that we've had over the years, the mark that they've made on this organization and this community, and can't thank them enough. But our relationships will continue, and so that piece is hard. At the same time, it's the job that we're in. It's the duty that we're called to do, and that's onboard new players, right? Onboard new staff as well, and so we're working hard to get those guys up to speed as quickly as we can and get them going here. All right, thanks, guys.
Practice